This is Drew Felty. This is the final presentation. The setting is I'm meeting somebody, James, who's a VP of Business Development for a company down in Charleston. Met him, reached out to him on LinkedIn last week, and we're at a conference in Charleston. All right. Hey, I'm Drew Felty.
Hi, I'm James.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Excellent, excellent. How you liking the conference so far today? You meet many new folks?
Well, the conference is going pretty good. I don't really meet too many new people at these conferences because it's a lot of people I've already worked with, but
Right.
you're a new face.
Yeah, yes. Actually, I reached out to you on LinkedIn last week, and you might have noticed on my profile, I'm with the Clemson MBA program, and over the next year, I'm looking to start up a statewide defense and aerospace network here in South Carolina. Is that something you might be interested in?
Yeah, but we're already part of the Charleston Defense Contractors Association, and we're really not looking for any new networks or organizations to join right now.
Well, of course, I'm a member of the Charleston Defense Contractors Association as well. CDCA is great. I think they do an excellent job. However, a few of our members for the statewide network have found that there's a lot more going on than just in Charleston. Columbia, Greenville, we've got 8 military bases across the state. So there might be some interesting opportunities for you there. Would you like to hear a little bit more?
I suppose so. Sounds a little interesting.
Okay, okay. So I know you're the Vice President for Business Development, right? Do you, just curious, do you and your company ever team with any other companies for, solicitations and proposals or contracts?
Sometimes we do.
Right. If you don't mind me asking, how do you guys go about finding partners for things like that?
Well, we have a few ongoing relationships in Charleston. As I said before, we're part of this network, but mostly it's because of the SPAR war. We have to do it because of the Pillars contract.
Right, right. So in a teaming decision, who are the folks in your company that make that decision on who to go with?
Well, we work closely with operations for our potential partners,
Right.
but mostly anything to do with business development, that's my department. That rests on me.
Oh, okay. Very good, very good. So then how do you stay informed with news, defense and aerospace oriented things that are going on?
Well, we have a team within our company that goes around and digs that information up. Then, they get the word on the street. I also get emails from South Carolina Business newspaper.
I subscribe to that myself. I find it very handy. So tell me, if you're following the South Carolina Business News, how do you think South Carolina is poised for the next round of BRAC?
Well, personally, I think our company will be okay. We did okay last year. I know they're not going to get rid of Parris Island, so not too worried.
Right, that is part of the landscape, I hope. So tell me, how do you think South Carolina is doing for the list of 10 action items that the Department of Defense wants to see each state take on in support of military families and veterans in order to receive future military funding?
Well, I'm not too sure on the specifics, but I know as a state we should be doing everything we can to support our troops and the military families and the veterans.
Right, right. Well, as you might imagine, the Department of Defense is keeping track of how all 50 states are doing, and right now South Carolina is only hitting about 50% of those action items. So with that in mind, what do you think a loss of another command or base within South Carolina might do for your business?
Well, it definitely depends on which one is lost, but any loss in the base isn't a good thing.
Right, right. Well, on a brighter note, you've heard about AFRICOM, and they're looking for a new headquarters, and Charleston happens to be at the top of the list. What do you think about South Carolina maybe gaining a command or a base?
Well, I heard a little bit about it a while back, but nothing recently.
Right.
I hadn't really considered it, but it can't really be a bad thing if we gain a base.
I agree with you there. So tell me, how do you feel about you and your company and having a voice on a statewide level for issues like BRAC and things that affect South Carolina as a whole? Do you feel that you and your team have a way to affect some of the way South Carolina prepares for these things?
Well, I hadn't really thought about it, but I don't think we really have something like that.
Okay, okay. So I know, just to recap a little bit, make sure I understand where you're coming from. You guys are doing fantastic here in Charleston. You've got some really good contracts, the Pillars contracts with Spavor. But there might be a few other opportunities or even threats in South Carolina that could affect your business going forward. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Is there anything else that you might be concerned with there?
Well, the whole subject of AFRICON is kind of unknown to me. How in the world did Charleston get to the top of that list?
That's a great question, and something that South Carolina Defense and Aerospace Network has developed is a heat map of Department of Defense spending from 2012, county by county. And if you look here, you'll see that certainly Charleston has seen a lot of defense dollars spending activity in 2012. Something you might or might not know is that every single cargo plane, anything that's airlifted from the United States to Africa goes through Charleston Air Force Base. You also notice that up here in Greenville, there's a lot of Department of Defense spending going on. Something that a lot of folks don't know about is that Fluor has a log cap contract. Right now, they're the logistics and base services contractor of choice for the northern half of Afghanistan, and they've also recently won that same sort of job description for the entire continent of Africa. So those are two things that could really influence the way South Carolina and Charleston stand when it comes to finding a new home for AFRICOM headquarters. So with those sorts of things in mind, you're interested in learning a little bit more about opportunities and maybe even threats facing South Carolina?
Well, of course, that's part of my job description, and part of my responsibility as the VP of Business Development is knowing what's going on.
Right.
And trying to make new opportunities, so yeah.
Sure. Sure. So recapping a little bit, you get daily headlines. Does that work for you to get direct headlines emailed to you?
Yeah, like I said before, that really eliminates a lot of the information digging and eliminates a lot of the lead work that I have to do.
Right. Right. And then as far as networking is concerned, or finding new partners or even new customers, is that something that you do online, or is that more of a face-to-face activity for you?
Well, absolutely, the whole face-to-face aspect is good because in the military, we're trying to build that trust, and trust is a very important factor.
Right. And then, regarding a voice or, an influence or an impact on some of the decisions that South Carolina is making in preparation for, statewide events and growing the economy, you may think maybe a combination of online and in-person activity there is ideal?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, excellent. So any other issues there or things that you think we should talk about?
Well, no, I think that sounds about
okay.
Right. I think we covered all the bases.
All right, so among those things, getting news, expanding your network, and a voice, which of those would be a priority for you and your company?
Well, I think learning more and having a voice or mechanism to act on these issues is very important to me. I don't really like not knowing what's going on in my backyard.
Right. Well, South Carolina Defense and Aerospace Network, regarding news, we've got a daily, weekly, periodic email option for our membership that disperses any defense and aerospace news that we come across very quickly and efficiently. We're also looking to hire a part-time journalist out of Columbia to cover the State House and any laws and regulations that the state is considering every time that we're in session, as well as making sure that our government organizations like Department of Commerce are working in the best interest of growing the defense and aerospace economy. As far as networking is concerned, SCDAN has 3 quarterly meetings throughout the state, and then an annual meeting, which is a little bit larger for those face-to-face interactions, meeting new partners, having those good conversations, and even meeting new customers. And then as far as a voice is concerned, we're developing an online forum where we can discuss news and issues that South Carolina is facing, and you can share your perspective on things that the organization is taking on. And we also every corporate membership comes with a vote on any SCDA and board resolutions that we try to pass that, you know, formalizes an action we want to take or an opinion we want to have on something that South Carolina is facing. Do those sorts of things on the statewide level sound appealing to you?
Yeah, they do. You really opened my eyes up, you know, that there's more going on than just right here in Charleston. Now, how secure is that website?
The website, great question. No worries, it's a closed website, password protected, and so no worries on that front. Now, it sounds like if we can help keep your team informed, you know, potentially expand your network of partners and customers, and then even give you and your team a way to act on any issues that could affect your company going forward. Does that sound appealing to you? Would you want to become a member?
Yeah, I would.
Any reason you wouldn't want to become a member today?
No, not at all. Sign me up.
Well, I can do that right now. We've got an online form, and I tell you, if you sign here, then I can, through LinkedIn and your company website, we can get your profile information transferred over to populate our membership database. So that's quick and easy for you. If you have a credit card, you can pay right now, and I can email you a receipt, or we can put an invoice in the mail for you next week.
I think the invoice would be the simplest thing as far as logistics for me.
I need a paper trail for my own records as well. So once we get that invoice processed and paid, then we can get your online access set up and tested out, and then tickets for your company for the next quarterly event. I think it's about 2 months from now. They'll be emailed directly to you, so we'll be in good shape there. Well, I tell you what, James, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on board, and I think this is a great move for you and your company. South Carolina is poised to grow tremendously, defense and aerospace, over the next few years, and I think you're going to find some good opportunities to be a part of that growth. Thank you.
Thank you.